Hi everyone, I'm your Likith coming back to the new video. We'll be discussing about the cryptography. The topic is basic encryption types or techniques. Basically, there are two types of encryption techniques like substitution and transposition. We'll be discussing about the substitution techniques type. So in the substitution techniques, we will use some cipher techniques for encryption and decryption of the plain text and using the cipher text. So there are four types of cipher text, cipher types like first we will be discussing what is cryptography. Cryptography is a method of storing and transmitting the data in a particular form so that only those for whom it is intended can read and process it. This cryptography technique is introduced because there are more hackers that they can come in the middle of the sender and receiver and hack the information and leak the information. By using the information he can earn more money without any permission of the sender and receiver. So by hiding the messages in a proper way, while sending the information we use the cryptography encryption techniques. Types of cryptography: symmetric key cryptography, asymmetric key cryptography, hash function. Encryption techniques. Previously, I have told the substitution techniques and transposition techniques. Now we'll be discussing about substitution techniques. The two basic building blocks of all encryption techniques are substitution and transposition. A substitution technique is one in which the letters of plain text are replaced by other letters or by numbers or symbols. If the plain text is viewed as a sequence of bits, then substitution involves replacing plain text bit patterns with cipher text bit patterns. So I told the number of cipher techniques like Caesar cipher. This cipher term is introduced by Julius cipher. Mm, so in if we come to talk about Caesar cipher, the Caesar cipher involves replacing each letter of the alphabet with the letter standing three places further down the alphabet. The algorithm can be expressed as follows. For each plain text letter P, substitute the cipher text letter C. C is equal to cipher text. E means encryption of three further means if we take in there are 26 letters in English alphabets, so we are going further down to the three letters by using the plain text. If we select the single A is a plain text, so we need the cipher text by trans pushing the letter to the fourth letter. So A, B, C, D. Now our cipher text will be D. So to be should not repeat, right? So will be mod we'll be doing mod 26 because the number of letters in the English is 26. So a shift may be of any amount so that the general Caesar algorithm is C is equals to E of K by K comma P is equals to P plus K mod 26. For example, plain meet me after the Togwa party. By using this encryption technique, the cipher will be different like PHHW, PHD, and WH, so on. So the the crypto analysis should will be done while doing the encryption technique. What is cryptanalysis? These attacks rely on the nature of the algorithm plus perhaps some knowledge of the general characteristics of the plain text or even some plain text ciphertext pairs. There is two types of ciphers, block cipher and stream cipher. Block cipher processes the input one block of elements at a time, producing an output block for each input block. Stream cipher processes the input elements continuously, producing output one element at a time as it goes along. The Caesar cipher is a brute force attack. The attacker tries every possible key on a piece at cipher attack because if uh, in another ciphers, the number of repeating letters will be more than Caesar cipher. The in Caesar cipher, for C, if we take the plain text as A, the ciphertext will be D. There will be no another ciphertext D allocated to any other plain text. So by using the brute force attacks by the hackers, they can easily uh, what they can easily crack the message what sender has sent. So if we go to the next topic, before that we'll be seeing some example of encryption for k is equals to 4. Here k is key. We are giving the receiver a hint called a key with 4 letters. 4 means 4 represents the number of letters going down after the plain text. So if the plain text is A, the ciphertext will be E because we are adding the number of letters is equals to 4 to the plain text. A for B it's F and C and G for C it's G and continues. If we come to the monoalphabetic letters, instead of shifting the alphabets by the fixed amount as in Caesar cipher, any random permutation is assigned to the alphabets. This type of encryption called monoalphabetic substitution cipher. The cipher line can be any permutation of the 26 alphabetic letters characters. A permutation of a finite set of elements is an ordered sequence of all the elements of S, with each element appearing exactly once. If we take the example S is equals to ABC, there are 6 permutations of S, like AB, AC, BA, CA, so, and so on. This would seem to eliminate brute force techniques for cryptanalysis. The difference between the plain text and ciphertext will not be uniformly gapped. And if we take the Caesar cipher, for every plain text of there will be a gap called 4 keys equals to 4. We will be representing the key value equal to 4 means the gap between the ciphertext and plain text will be 4 letters. If a hacker will delete the 4 letters and try to get the actual message, he can easily find out the original message what a sender has been sent in the form of plain text. So to avoid that, monoalphabetic cipher is introduced. It is better than the Caesar cipher because the number of attempts that should be applied to decrypt is 26 factorial. So a hacker should try 26 factorial types of possibilities to crack the ciphertext to plain text. In the previous Caesar cipher, there is only 26 attempts. In 26 attempts only, if in a best case, in one attempt only he can find the. In the worst case, 26 attempts would needed. So if we compare to that Caesar cipher, monoalphabetic cipher is far better. Whereas in Caesar cipher, it takes hardly 25 attempts. But by knowing the relative frequency, we can crack the monoalphabetic cipher. Uh, the monoalphabetic cipher means in monoalphabetic cipher also it will be easy because by knowing the frequency of English letters would be I and J will be using the highly possibility I, J, E. These are the most used English alphabets in the world. So by knowing the frequency graph, he can easily crack it by guessing also. In hardly 26 factorial, he can crack it. So it is also not properly encrypted, but it is better than the Caesar cipher. If we come to the advantages of it, better security than Caesar cipher. Monoalphabetic ciphers are easy to break because they reflect the frequency data of the original alphabet. There is a technique called countermeasure is to provide multiple substitute known as homophobe single letter. Before going to the playfair cipher, we'll be going for hill cipher. This can be expressed as developed by the mathematician Lester Hill in 1929. The encryption algorithm takes m successive plain text and substitutes for them m ciphertext letters. The substitution is determined by m linear equations in which each character is assigned a numerical value a is equals to b is equals to 1, z is equals to 25. So if we see the formula for getting the ciphertext, C1, the we can actually we can actually we can actually take it as a row mat one by one row matrix also. Sorry, one by one cross three row matrix of ciphertext by taking the plain text of row matrix of one cross three. We have taken here 3 cross 1 column matrix also. It's also fine, but to not get confused, we can take ciphertext and plain text as a row matrix rather than cipher matrix. We should to solve Hill cipher, we should know the determinants, matrix multiplication, inverse matrix, transpose matrix, and adjoint matrix. By knowing these techniques, we can easily uh, know how to encrypt and decrypt a message. But it is more secured than Caesar cipher and as well as monoalphabetic cipher because without knowing without knowing these techniques, they can't actually crack the uh, ciphertext into plain text. In previously, we don't have to know these techniques because we by just brute force attack and guessing with having patience of solving 26 factorial times, we can get easily the actual original message. So if we go to the topic, uh, by here they considered the row matrix, sorry, column matrix. So by saying this, C1 is equals to by multiplying K11 P1 plus K12 P2 K13 P3 mod 26 for each of these ciphertext value, we'll be doing the same thing. If we go to the example, we have encrypt the message plain text act n is equals to 3. The key is J, J, GYBNQQKURP, which can be written as the n cross n matrix with the help of above table. As here n is equals to 3 means the ciphertext 1 cross 3 means the number of elements should be contained in a row of any cipher or plain text will be depending upon this n value. N is equals to 3 means the ciphertext row will also be 3 elements or column will also contain only 3 elements. The, if we see the key matrix, it is containing 3 cross 3. If is n is equals to 4, it will be 4 cross 4. With reference to above table, the message act is written as vector p is equals to 0 to 19 by saying the G, Y, B, N, Q, K, U, R, P. By seeing this table, it is just what converting the alpha English alphabets to numerical digits in a table. By seeing that this table, we are forming the key matrix of 3 cross 3 and multiplying with plain text by modulus of 26. By doing all the operations, we'll get the C cipher text 67 to 22 to 319 mod 26. By applying the modulus of 26, we can find 15, 14, and 7 in a column matrix. If we see the row matrix, 15, 14, 7 as a row vector. So we have discussed about the hill cipher. If we go to the playfair cipher, actually this technique uses a 5 cross 5 matrix, which also called the key matrix. Playfair's cipher is also called Wheatstone Playfair cipher. It is actually invented by the Wheatstone Playfair. Uh, sorry, his the scientist name is Wheatstone. You will will actually have a doubt why it is called a playfair, because he is inspired by a toy name called Playfair by his son, who has named his toy called Playfair. So he inspired with the name of that and keep that name to this technique called Playfair cipher. In this technique, multiple, that is two letters encrypted at a time. Actually, it is a multi-letter encryption cipher. In this 5 cross 5 matrix, they will give a key, we have taken a key called monarchy. So we'll be arranging the key in a sequential order in the 5 cross 5 matrix, and filling all the alphabets without repeating, because there is only 25 spaces left, 25 spaces in it, but we should set the 26 letters in it. We have used the I cross J because uh, of the frequency that is used the in the English alphabet letters. It is actually same as with I and J. It is equally same. So we have given the equal importance to the I comma J. So we have arranged these letters in the single box, so that we covered the 26 letters in 25 boxes. So if we take an example of conversion of this, there are some rules for encryption. Uh, First, we should convert into the diagrams and repeating letters with fill. If there are any repeating letters in the keyword, then it will be filled with the filler letter. The filler letter is defaultly uh, selected as X. If we take the keyword college, there is a repetition of L letters, so we will be separating it with the letter default letter filler letter called X. Another rule is same column. If the two letters are in the same column, will be wrapped around column wise. Same row means will be wrap around row wise, and rectangle, if the two letters are not in the same column or same row, will be swapping the end of the letters which has been present in the two sides of the rectangle. repeating the plain text letters that are in the same pair called are separated with a field such as X, so that balloon would be treated as balloon. BA will be separating the each pair of let will be separating the letters as pairs. So BALLOON. So we'll be seeing there are similar repeating letters. So we'll be filling with the filler letter called X and separating the sequence of repeating letters. Two plain text letters that fall in the same row of the matrix are each replaced by the letter to the right with the first element of the row circularly the last. Example, AR is encrypted as RM. We have been discussing cipher. Thank you.